Hey folks, how you doing? This is turn number 2 on the new lathe. I got a big old giant piece of black locust in there, beautiful yellow wood, got a lot of grain to it. This is a crotch piece, the 2 branches come out this way. Down there was the base of the tree. It's pretty heavy, but I got it pretty balanced. So I think I'm just going to turn the video on and let it run, and then I'll cut and speed up as I need the footage instead of turning it off and on again. I'm going to try to save the bark for a natural edge. This is going to be the bottom, and I'll be working it that way. So sit back, maybe I'll put on some music. I hope you enjoy. Well. I thought this piece was dry enough, but apparently it sucked up a bunch of water and froze. As you can see, it's actually spinning water out of it. So if I even try to make anything out of this when it dries out, it's going to crack. I can even see frost and stuff coming out of it. So I'm yanking this off. It's going to have to sit around my shop for a few months, thaw out and dry out. But I can see it's going to be beautiful when I get into it. So I don't want to rush it and ruin it. So off the lathe it comes. I'll find another piece. Alright, what I switched over to is basically a pine wart, for lack of better terms. I think it was a scabbed over branch or something. It is basically all bark, but there is a little bit of wood in here. It looks like fat wood maybe. This is just a fun piece. I don't expect anything to come out of it, but I'm going to try to cut a real quick tenon on this side, flip it over, and then try to hollow it out, if I can even find wood in here. But I figured it's worth a try. This summer I saturated this thing in CA glue, so hopefully it will stay intact. It'd be an interesting piece if it works. There's just enough wood in there where I can get my spur drive stuck into it. And it's kind of punky and funky. But if I can get it hollowed out a little bit, it'd be a kind of neat conversation piece. So let me see what I can do with it. Hey, I found some wood, I think. Oh, it's definitely fat wood. Well, I'll see if I can finish the tenon. Alright, I got it flipped around. I don't know what's going to come flying off of this thing, but I'm going to try to stay inside this perimeter and leave all this natural and just try to shave from here in. We'll see what happens. That is beautiful solid fat wood in there. Let me see if I can get you a close up. Look at that. Woo-hoo. That's some hard stuff. I'll keep poking away at it and see what happens. I'd like to get out to here. I'm going to clean up my floor so I can collect all this stuff later. Be right back. Yeah, this turned out pretty decent, considering it was just an old wart on the side of a pine tree. I thought it was going to be all bark and rot. I was pleasantly surprised to find it solid fat wood once I got past the outer edge. So I'm just going to put a very healthy coat, probably mini coats of shellac on it. Why? Because that's what I have. That way I know all this bark will stay intact. I mean, the bark is probably almost an inch thick on it, maybe a half inch. But over the months of it sitting in the yard, I CA glued it several times, saturated it, so it should stay pretty good. I just don't want it to start peeling when it's in the house. I'm way overcoating it because I'm sure it's all going to soak in. Trying to get it in all the cracks and crevasses. I don't know if this was a branch on the side of the tree that was cut years and years ago, and the tree just kind of grew over the wound, or if it was just kind of like a burl. I'm going to call it a wart. Turned out to be a nice bowl though. I'll put some stills up. So there you go. The first block of wood on there, which I got thawing over by the wood stove. And eventually I'll get to turn a big old giant bowl out of it. That didn't work out because it was frozen and full of water, so I just grabbed this on the side and it was turned out pretty nice. Cutting this is like basically like cutting plastic. You really got to hang on to your tools because it will grab you and take you for a loop. I did better off with using a carbide bit as a scraper, but instead of attacking it at a 90, I tilted it and put it on a negative, so it was kind of rubbing it. Otherwise it was grabbing it like nobody's business. So once I put it on that negative it did really well. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Play nice, everybody.